the 100 CS challenge and going over the different levels of it. So no matter where you are ranked, your skill will be somewhere in this level. And you may not be at the CSing challenge, especially if you play support or if you play jungle. Different roles have different expectations for what to do. The modicum, the change you can make if you're a support player is to practice pushing and pulling waves and holding freezes, and then the highest level is to get the minions under turret so that they're hittable within one hit. All right, and by making them hittable within one hit, you're basically training yourself to help your AD carry have a good time CSing. Junglers are doing it with Jungle Path, but this is primarily for your marksman, mid laner, and top laner, and we're going to go over the different levels. So, introduction to the skill. What we're basically just going to be doing is get as much CS as you can in 10 minutes. All right. For beginner players, this is just getting used to the idea of watching health bars get low and seeing how to do it, getting used to clicking their mouse so that they're not using an action right before they need to be last hitting. You can practice that mechanic of, all right, this is about to get low, let me press S, and S is stop. And you can then wait for that minion, and then boom, get that last hit. All right, very introductory level to CSing. You can be moving around, but that adds another element with the mouse moving. There is an element to wanting to be able to practice that. And you can always level yourself up by not using the stop command. Or only using it for a frame before going. You're just like, I want to last hit right here, but this wasn't quite right. This is a more advanced technique. I'm going to last hit, stop myself, last hit, stop myself, and then go. Then we're going to start leveling it up. We're going to add different elements to it, okay? One element being eyes up, meaning that as you're throwing your attack and then you're moving away, there's nothing else for you to do. Your character's incapable... Excuse me. Your character is incapable of issuing another command for an attack. So in that moment, we're going to look up. We're going to start taking an eye at the CS, the time in game. Where do we think the jungler might be? Simple paths like this. Now, if you've never seen jungler paths, you may not be too familiar, but a good rule of thumb is to use is that every jungle camp takes about 15 seconds in the early game. So at 1:30, they're at their first camp. At 1:45, they're at their next camp. At 2 minutes, they're at their next one, and so on and so forth. Then once you've started getting good at practicing those mechanics, then you aim to try to get 100 CS in 10 minutes, all right? This is something that every gold player should be able to do. So this is really the breakthrough for silver players if you can get 100 CS in 10 minutes. Now we're going to train your attention, all right? We're going to go in and say, all right, very critically, before we were just practicing looking up. We hit, move, look around, and making sure that we're training our eyes to be as aware as possible. Then we're going to start asking critical questions that require our attention and our thought. Next, you add it versus a bot. Then you're going to be pushing and pulling waves, which is called teasing, all right? Stacking waves for crashes, pulling them back. Try to incorporate a recall, and then dynamic, which is everything. Alternate crashing waves, freezing waves. You get last hitting under your turret. You have to go rebounds. You have to always be thinking about where could the jungler be. So we're going to try to do this at an elite level. I expect with the amount of focus I'm going to have to deliver to speaking that I'm expecting my number to be around 90. I'm still going to shoot for 100, but I'm going to try to do this, and we're going to play in mid lane where there's no real proxying to be done. We might be able to get into a jungle camp. We're going to do, with a bot, you'd have to do it in the side lane. I don't particularly want to do that right now. I want to work on mid. We can do it on bot. Let's do it on bot. Unfortunately, this is the only way. I think if you add bots to all lanes, you'd be able to get it done. And it's not really important that they are challenging. It's not meant to be a challenge. It's just that there's another character there. It's another element of something to think on. So let's go and just add a whole slew of champions here. All marksmen. Okay. Should we make it all marksmen so we don't get like CC'd to death accidentally? Even 5 champions might be a little bit too much. We'll try this. This should give us a 2-1-2 split. If not, then we'll see what we can do. And we're going to do on a champion like Anivia that has to survive the first several waves before building up a mana pool to try to battle. So let's do this. We can go in Anivia. I'll just take stock runes, all right, things that are very common. Electrocute's fine. Like there's also a lot of people that end up going like this, so this is fine as well. I recommend using your active rune page. All right, you don't need to limit yourself. There is a mode where you can say, all right, let me do this with no runes. Right, I'm gonna do it with buy myself an AP item to start, even though I'm not an AP champion, so that I don't get any extra AD. Use all your adaptive force. It's not going to matter for your auto attacks or for your hits. That is another element, but I think that that's kind of redundant. It's really practicing your precision on your movements, but it's not very practical for how the game's going to play out. Now, I have no idea how these guys are actually going to line up. We'll have a little fiesta, and off we go. No, we can't even fast forward. Not a practice game. So we're going to be asking myself what the questions are. I'm gonna give myself random questions like how much CS do I have? What is my FPS? Where do I expect the jungler to be? On this team, I'm expecting it to be something like, let's see, what would be the most normal here? Champions I have seen in other lanes. You know what? Ezreal Jungle actually has a skin, so we'll do Ezreal Jungle. Graves has been top. Kog'Maw middle. We've seen Ashe support. Sorry. So this in the history of time, this is potentially a team you could ever play against, but very, very rare, obviously. So I'm going to be doing not just spam shoving, although there is going to be some element to that because I don't want to get caught into just doing this. Like I said, I want to create stacked pushes and pulls. We're going to start off trying to do a rebounded wave. We're going to go for a 4-wave crash into a teleport, see if we can come back with an extra amp tome. See who shows up. All right, we do get Graves here. Maybe I should have left them where they were because that's where they were going to go. So I'm moving around. All right, it's 140. Jungler's onto his next camp. Jungler is at Gromp. Get a little bit of harass. I missed a CS to get that harass. Okay, so this is one of those elements where it's like, okay, what are we actually accomplishing if we get the harass? Does it actually do anything if you're missing CS, right? Was it worth 21 gold to deal him that much damage? Well, if you think of it in terms of how much his potion is going to cost him, then it's not, right? His potion's going to cover more than that, right? I would have to miss about 3 CS worth before it actually starts adding up to anything that I can claim a win on. All right, so here we go. We're stacking waves. It's 224. Jungler is approaching Raptors, maybe onto their red. I've already missed several CS here. I'm 8 out of 12, and I have a wave stacking, which means that this is about to get harder. All right, here we go. 239. Here we go. 241. Gonna make our job a little bit easier getting this point into E. Chase him away while we're not missing anything, right? And specifically, even better than expected there was the fact that I get to harass him while he might be looking for last hits. All right, so now we've got a wave that's pulling back in. The Graves came up, he shoved a little bit. 310, jungler might be on my top side. If I suspect that he took his jungle starting on blue side, then I can expect that he's actually on my left. So I'm going to start hovering right? All sorts. We're going to add in all the dynamics of my jungler. Now, obviously, if I had a jungler, that'd be even better. I would have an idea of where they might be standing, and I could be hovering towards their side. We're in a pretty good rhythm. I'm taking deep breaths in between misses especially, but even successes, if I get a little combo and able to get all the CS, then I count that as a big win. Now right there, obviously E could have gone to his face. We're going to try to get this crash all the way in. Here we go. It's rebounding. Beautiful. Okay, now this could coincide with a back timer in your real game because of where the turret ends up. Gonna get a little chunk here. We miss nothing. And deep breath. All right, 410. Their jungler has backed. He's looking at the second spawn of his Gromp now. I could go extra points in Q to make this a little bit easier. And try to get a little bit of a shove here. We're going to use the protection of this wave, the fact that it's a little bit bigger. Take a deep breath. 433. All right, their jungler could easily be in my face right now. While I was thinking about the jungler, I actually took some unnecessary poke from the Graves, and this is robot Graves, right? So taking poke from him means I'm doing something kind of wrong. See if we can get a little bit of damage in. All right, now we're going to go for a stack. All right, this is 5 minutes. We want to get a full push here at 5 minutes. This is a really good habit to have. Because getting this push off means that we'll be back in time for the cannon wave that will give us level 6. And we can actually do this with just a straight up recall. Because we have a pretty good timer here, and the cannons can sit under their wave. So this is very... this is the time that you want to get that recall in whenever possible. We did hit 6 naturally, right? If you don't miss anything, that's when you get back. I could teleport here, but I'm going to save my teleport for later, and I'll show you why. See how this wave consolidated on their side? We actually could have left it. If we had stacked our wave slightly more, it would have stayed under the turret long enough for this wave to start hitting and the turret to hitting this wave. But as you can see, just coming back to wave, walking, I've only missed 2 melees. If I'm going to miss this cannon, though, it is absolutely not worth flashing for XP, and just so I don't get it. Obviously, don't do this in your game. All right, now this is spike time for Anivia, where she should be able to get all the CS very easily. Not just that, but we're going to come over here, and we're going to do the same thing. We've got a couple tricks that we can use. Now, you never want to be hovering here in vision. You want to spend as little time as possible, and then we come back to our wave. We can do the same thing, shove, and this is why I saved my teleport, because I want to be able to come back and do this again. All right. He's trying to hold a freeze? No way. No way that the bots know how to hold freezes here. All right, I'm going to punish that. All right, we scared him off. But you know what? He stopped my back. 649. Junglers could be looking at anywhere right now. We're approaching that ever-important 7-minute wave. This is normally a really good roam timer. Now, because it's a cannon, watch this trick right here. I'm just going to go and slightly push. All right, he's going to go in on me. There's the stop mechanic trick I was talking about. Because he walked in, I changed my plan. But basically, when they don't do that, I'm going to try to just kill the backline and then let my wave build and stack on top of his as we move forward. Right? All right, teleport is live. Could have gotten another camp before I went off. Looks like they didn't bring anyone with smite, so there's no junglers. And this is what I was talking about with that delay on the push. If you wait just a little bit longer, you can get this wave to come to your face and help yourself out right there. And now I'm also full mana again. Check it out. And now I can take this camp. This is something that you want to be doing on Anivia as early and often as possible. Stealing as many camps. There's plenty of opportunity. I'm already in fantastic shape for my total CS. Alright, man wants to die again. We're going to let him die, but we missed some CS, alright? So next time we want to try to get that right without losing the CS. Raptors have not respawned. 820. Second buffs are on the line. Probably if they're just doing standard things, they've already cleared this side. So this would be a good time to get a ward like this down. Generally, you don't want to put it down while you're in vision. You don't want them to know that you've placed that ward. And come back over. Can do the same thing here. A little bit faster. Ready for this trick? There you go. He cast the Q beforehand. It would help if I didn't miss my my E cast right there. And yes, that is something that I do. Old hands. Oh my gosh. All those mistakes. Mechanical mistakes. And this is what we're doing to survive. Getting this extra window, right? The hard shove. It's even better if I, like I said, if I could create that stacked wave. Which I haven't really even endeavored to try to do here. Now 913. And wants to die. All right. Now this is the tough part. I'm at 94 with 9.5 minutes left. I'm gonna go full throttle to try to get at these CS. May have to auto attack one. There we go. Raptors are respawning. We get another plate. We're gonna have one chance to proxy here, but we don't have much mana. So we're basically looking at 103 is probably our goal here. Wave is going to show up just in time. I'm actually going to try to get it to stack right here, and I want to kill these backliners. All right, backliners are dead, and we're good. And 10:01. All right, 103. So there's the challenge. So that was everything, right? I was scoping out what the lanes are. One thing I didn't really check is which waves were actually being pushed while the game was moving on, right? Which waves are pushing, where is it gankable? That's something that you can add. I was tracking the jungler more or less, and I was trying to keep every time that I had my CS going down, I tried to look up. I will say that I needed to be better at it, right? Especially when I put down the Frozen Storm, I was looking at HP bars rather than looking around, which means that I might be susceptible to a gank. But anyways, there it is. And you can create this little sheet for yourself. So for me, today is the 3rd of October. So I'll go here and I'll go Anivia mid. And for me, I put what level I do it as well. And then we can say 103. So I'm always at level 8. This is something that I want to have. I play all the roles. I'm constantly doing this. It's different for different lanes, right? You want long lanes to be able to do triple and quadruple stacked waves. Can't really do that as much mid. You're trying to like find big pushes and pulls. It's also a longer time to get back to those lanes. So you have to be more careful with your recall. We ended up getting 2 times into base, which was pretty good. And we end up getting the advantage there. So that's the sort of drill you can do for yourself. If you're the type of person that is a manic, you know, has to train, like loves the mini game and is trying to get good at this, work your way through levels. Don't spend more than 3 attempts in a day. All right, but this is a great way to get warmed up. This is a great way to get you ready for your games. And we talk about this in our generic, like getting ready to compete, getting ready to optimize. I cared about my CS. I wanted to beat my high score. I wanted to get CS patterns right on Anivia. Early on, I missed 4 CS, so there's definitely something to improve on. I'm absolutely capable of getting a higher score, but that's good. I'm warmed up. I'm ready to go. If you don't get there, 3 tries maximum. End it there. That's a good place to stop, and then you can resume it the next day. You want to be able to succeed at a level twice in a row. All right, that's a simple enough reason to move up. You succeed, you've succeeded again. It wasn't just a fluke. It wasn't just your like random high score. Then you can move up. What's up, guys? Master Rushi, what rank is this? That was versus bots. That was just a practice to show what we are trying to accomplish. Something that you can use. You always want to use it with the type of champions that you use in your game. So now we're going to put it into practice. We're going to go in Q mid top. We'll try to get Anivia and maybe see what it is, but I'm happy to play many mages. It's always a better idea to try to practice on the champion that you're going to play so that the practice is actually usable. Hey, Alyssa, how are you? Appreciate you guys hanging out. I see some people from YouTube, some on Twitch, some on Facebook. What's up, guys? This is my son right here. This actually goes back to last year. I should start putting years on these. Oh, I did. All right, 10, 25, 21. So this was when he was 7 years old. And he was doing a different level. It's how long does it take you to get 100 CS? For him, getting to 100 was a little bit easier to keep track of than the time in the game. At a young age, it also gave him a little bit of a challenge. So this is something you can do with your kids and basically start them. Oh, I don't know what that was. But this was a little challenge for him to go through, and then we took a break. He came back to it later in the year, did a couple this year, and then came back to it with Kaisa, and actually just out of the blue started getting really good scores. He's gotten a lot better with his confidence especially, but also knowing some of the patterns that go along with the game. So that being said, this game, what were a couple of things that we could have done better? One, just as we were going for last hits, can do a little bit better on our sharpness, our acuity, paying attention to what the elements are in the game, where people are. I really wasn't paying enough attention to the side lanes to know where I might have my gank windows. I was really just thinking about how much can I back and get in? Can I get 2 backs? Can I take Raptors camps? Can I generate a lead for myself just from this one position? And that's not necessarily going to give you the best results in game, which is why when you're actually implementing this, next thing you do after you do it in training tool is you put it into a normal game. And in normal game, you say, all right, let me try to practice with an actual opponent who's actually trying to kill me and see if we can have the same success. And do it under duress, right? That's the big thing, is can you do it when there's actual pressure in your face? Now, who do I not want to play against? We'll go get rid of Kassadin, because Fizz is someone that I like playing. No, let's get rid of Yasuo. Yasuo is unperturbed by most of Anivia's spells. You're lucky to land anything, and if you can't land anything, then your E just goes into his windshield, and it doesn't do anything. So it can be a pretty remarkably bad matchup. Some other ones to be careful with. Kassadin is the big known one. But Kassadin's in our wheelhouse. Fizz ban right here. That's very interesting. This person picks after us as well. This looks like it's going to be their top laner. So we can probably get away with a swap here. They may say no at the moment, but once this pick comes through, it should give us some idea of what's going on. Yeah, there's Akshan. Oh, all right. That could be top, could be mid. We'll just lock in. We've got double AD carry with a bruiser. They really want to get like 2 tanks here. Engage support and a tank top. Otherwise, these guys are going to be susceptible. This helps with the last hitting. You can go like this. You can also go here. I like minion dematerializer most of the time. And also, I'm not in any kind of rush to get boots as Anivia. The attack speed helps with the last hitting for sure. But getting a couple points in Q with AP ratios also something you can do. All right, so they've got Swain Bard. Their backline is completely open. They have no peel for... They are basically trying to dive in and go one direction. Jarvan plus Akshan is an interesting combo because you always can create terrain. Also, Akshan versus Anivia, he can always use terrain to get out of my storm. That'll be interesting. If it is Akshan mid, which is probably not, it's probably Swain and it's probably Akshan top. The Swain banned the Fizz because Fizz has a field day with Swain, levels 3 through 5. Even at level 6, if the shark lands, Swain has to use his ultimate, otherwise he's definitely dead. And if you use your ultimate, then you're looking at a 40-second longer cooldown, and Fizz will be able to just punish that later. So would make sense that this is the Swain, and the guy that banned Renekton is going on Akshan. This is going to be a world and potentially Sun Eater Kale. I've actually never seen the skin. We do have a melee for Sejuani to start. Also, we have Pantheon, so we have a couple of stun synergies right here. Our bot lane is super loaded for ganks. It should be pretty easy to shut Lucian down. Jarvan's a little bit faster coming out of the jungle, but Sejuani wants to go and swing those fights, but we're absolutely not trying to fight, especially in top lane. Now, Swain is also not someone that really needs to fight much. I do that to make people feel good. There's small things that you can do when you have a champion that has animations, like Azir can make his soldiers dance. Something that I feel like when you see that, you show your teammates that you're on point, you know your character, you know like what you're looking for in your game. Ooh, flash. Go, flash. Oh my goodness. Okay. And I missed that one. Okay. Team, hold the ground, hold the ground, hold the ground. What are they doing? Why? Sejuani, you're a piece of shit. Edge. Unacceptable, lady. Piggy play, literally. Alright, well, Lucian's 2-0. Why our melees decided to be the ones to step back, I don't know. We'll get the hit. Attacking him will force the minions onto me, which will let me get a chance to get the push. This will let me manipulate the waves, and specifically I'm looking not to miss CS. But I want to be able to create this pull back to me so I can get a third wave crash here. Don't need to crash yet. Oh, I didn't even see his spell there. Draven's nearby. Hey, I knew those minions were coming. We no longer have the stack, but that's okay. It's coming back to us. That's totally all right. I'm going to level up. I'm going to use my potion right now. I don't really have combat stats to speak of because of the tier. So just stacking up tiers, totally fine. Using spells, I don't necessarily need to be using them. This guy's on 3 camps. Let's do that. Let's get mana flow. Stacking. Now, if I really wanted to fight, I'd go points in E. Now, Sejuani might be feeling really unconfident, we'll say. So I may just be in a Farmville environment, so I'm going to put extra points in just for the last hits. Alright, it's 3:15. Draven's going to be looking at potentially next camp. Eee, that's not good. Actually could have gotten that other one off. But there we go, a couple mistakes. And I'm not even trying to fight this guy, right? I'm just going for CS, letting this go under turret. Should have been able to get all of those. It looks like it's going to be a good time down bottom. Missed again. Teleport's down too, so I have to be really careful about this. If he gets a significantly better back off, I think I'm going to use Dematerializer here and try to get the jump. Got one more Q in us. I just walked into that. I'm dead. Oh, there I go. So you see, you make some mistakes implementing new things. This wave is right here. I need someone to hold it. Pantheon should be pathing into river right now, not just straight bottom. Kale's maintaining her own right now, actually up in CS, even though Akshan's got that significant lead. Did he just not? Alright, he's just getting his first chop off. So we've obviously made a lot of mistakes here. Swain should not get this free of a laning phase. Obviously level 1 had something to do with it. I could look to punish Swain a little bit more by letting this kind of sit here. That's why we're going to leave casters up. But getting to 6 as quickly as possible is also something that I'm looking at. We won't be able to do it on this wave. If you miss 0 minions, you can get it on the wave, on that wave right there. Otherwise, you're waiting for this one, and Swain is 6. Basically, by pushing in and by giving him that kill, we gave him the level 6 here. So we have to absolutely be afraid. We have to respect the gank. Now, something I haven't done, since I haven't ever pushed up onto his side, but if I were pushing up onto his side, I'd be looking to drop wards on in the meantime. Get flash. That's an out. We're out. You're out. He doesn't have dash. Oh, she dashed into him. That's so not good. We're not fighting this. Alright, Kale's got a kill here though. That's fantastic. Oh, so beautiful. Alright, it worked out for the best. And this wave has eviscerated multiple waves of hers. Of his, I should say. Perfect. Now we could take this. Now Jarvan came from bot side to top. It was long enough ago that we might be looking at respawns here on the Raptors. Either way, I want to get vision over here. This will give me some idea of where his path is. I'm going to kill this cannon wave before I recall. We get a little bit more damage in because it's basically free for me. Now Swain has to stick there. He doesn't get a roaming window against me, and now I'll start putting up other items together. Now against this team actually of all these ADs and not much tanks, you know what? We're actually going to go... We're going to go Rod of Ages. Which means that we get all the supplemental items. We'll be building our mana bars. We'll be doing everything. I do have teleport here if any sort of fight looked like it was going to break out. Swain might be roaming down this way. So, camera's panned, ready. We have a wave coming in, so that's potentially a gankable place. We have to watch out. This might be a gankable place as well. Both waves are coming in. Lucian has no ulti. So if we can get the push again in our own wave... then we might be good to look for a fight. And we definitely have the push power here against Swain. Hey, I put myself in a bad spot here. See? Go, set up. One to set up the other. And one to set up the other. Keep him over here. I have my passive. Oh, he gets to keep it stacking on me. That's actually really obnoxious. I wasn't thinking about that. But it worked out. It baited the guy. Now we have a cannon here. We'll be able to take this. Jarvan should not be a threat. Shouldn't be looking to take this. Egg passive is down. Definitely a consideration. I want to ask this guy for blue. Is he even going to try to give it? I don't know. Maybe not. Alright, boots are in. Now you can actually let go of the ultimate one tick before it gets to lethal. This is true about all damage over time abilities like Karthus E. If you have the option to turn them on and off, you can always just turn them off. I'd like to get this, but I really want these to make sure that I can dodge more of these Swain spells. I don't want to be in any kind of position where I have to face off against him again. Alright, that was a really good harass. We can actually take this for ourselves. Bot lane looks like a totally reasonable place to fight as well. Sejuani, beautifully done. Let's help him with this. Get a head start. We'll give him a couple spells, no big deal. Even gonna put this up here. Make sure that they know that there's really no threat here. And I'm gonna go for blue. Okay. Alright, so there's a little trick with Anivia. You can get a couple extra ticks there. And if you have points on the W, you can actually wall this guy in. Now we're going to push this first. Still missing Swain. And we can start walking away. And again, last tick, you just don't need to be there for it. I could stick around for this plate, and in fact, probably was a mistake to not go for that. But we got some pings. People being alert to other areas. Now, Swain has no prio here, so Jarvan going for this is a kind of a blunder. Give this guy the big one so he gets credit for his snacks. Swain is moving. And get a hard shove here. And it's Cannon Wave, which means we'll be able to get a decent chunk of damage here. This is also free because Swain is bottom. Yeah, we do this. 100%. This is us. Ooh. Actually might have considered walling him there, but Bard is on the roam. We have to get out. Swain was actually able to get the push there. That might have been... We might be able to classify that as a mistake. Here's the Bard showing. So we actually missed a lot. Kale needs to end that play ASAP. And we've got our Rod of Ages. So tiers stacking, Rod is good. We've got all of our starter items in. We've got a good push. Things are looking okay. I'm going to go grab the best items for surviving the mid game. Bot lane's doing great. Kale is going to be okay, although down a significant amount right here. So it needs to avoid any kind of fight. Alright, Roa is stacking. Jarvan's at 84. That's significantly higher than he had before. There's also a ward right here. I'll just place this and go roam. They're looking. Swain wants to push this. He wants to push hard because he has Landry's. You know what? We'll give him the time of day. Oops. Alright, do we have the numbers for this? Probably not. Oh, Sejuani should be looking for it, 100%. Neat. Big chunk. We'll just take big chunk. Big chunk is big chunk. I got a little bit antsy. We have Pantheon coming in. Gonna keep this guy out. Change CC. Level up. Beautiful. Clean, baby. Oh, he used discharges on the other ones. That's too bad. Zaya should be mid. Fortunately, she's not. I'm not really healthy enough to go, so I'm gonna have to do this. We actually miss out on a little bit of a tempo here. Alright, we're looking at Ocean. Anivia loves Ocean. Now, Anivia's a little bit of a different champion. Most times you want to play inside out prio with your marksman, and that's true basically all games. What's up, Pizro? Training Tuesday. Yeah, exactly. We go over different mechanics or just like techniques, maybe. Like, mechanic might not be the right word for all the things that we go over. It could be even as simple as drafts are things that we work on, right? Things that, any element that can improve your game. Alright, that's fine. It is what it is. Ooh. One of the things that I'm not working on today, so I apologize, is checking chat while I'm doing it, especially since there's an element that I'm really actively pursuing. I don't want to lose too much focus because I'm training either something new or something that I like absolutely want to get right. This guy, let me get this. All right, so if he's smart, let's see how many candies he has. He has 1 candy. If he's smart, he delays the blue and he goes off and takes Gromp. I'm going to help him leash Gromp, although the timer might be wrong. Beautiful play by Pantheon. Slightly better if he goes for a W flash rather than a flash W, because there could have been a response. See how this guy's doing on his candy. Did he do it? He did it. No, he didn't do it. He's leaving it. That's smart. Okay. If he has to donate to me, great. It's unfortunate that we can't both have it. Ideal world, you save your candies. You try to make sure that you can end on a camp that gets you to 0, and then you can go the rest of the way. 950. It's not really safe for me to go after this wave. Maybe that should be enough. Now, these wards can see you unless you hug this wall. If you hug this wall, you can actually get a little bit further without being seen. So that's what we're doing here. And that's enough for me to go get Seraphs, and now I'm fully battle ready. This is exactly the guy that we were worrying about. And that ward wouldn't have done anything for us if he had decided to show up. But luckily for us, we had enough time to just show up, get in, get out. Gonna help our team siege. I'd like to get this broken down so we can go inside out. We've already made more progress on the sides, so we want to go and make progress on middle, because otherwise we're cut off from being able to transition from lane to lane. I don't know, Anivia. Woo! I actually left my R on significantly too long. Alright, so they've got 3 kills lead. They'll have no trouble getting this turret down. So we'll go for the rest. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should have stayed here because Sejuani went for farming as well. That's a mistake by me. That's a mistake. I should have seen that Sejuani was going for farm and I should have stayed. But you know what? It turned into a bait. Not going to call it the right play by any stretch, but it's a play that ended up doing okay. Multiple different tier 2s. Now we get to play this inside out strategy where there's nothing. They're like, what good path do they have, right? Everything that they do needs to bring them someplace where there's problems, right? We've got superior vision in bot side. It allows me to push here. Jarvan's showing. Akshan I need to worry about, so I'm not going to cast any more spells. But I also have 1400 gold, which means I have a significant chunk to help my team siege with. I'm probably never dying again, but I don't think I'm going to go for Magi's. Maybe I should. Yeah, you know what? It's kind of fun. Let's do it. Alright, we don't need to actually chase after a Bard. We could just go straight for Baron. Or for Dragon. Dragon's in 25 seconds. That's the simpler thing for low-level players to understand. So nothing wrong with going there. Doing that ward was not actually mandatory. This ward you don't want to do. See these rings right here? You actually want to put the ward inside those rings. I've trapped the Bard. He can't go anywhere, by the way. He only threw. He tried to go the other way. He just couldn't do anything. That's a big stun. Gonna get this guy too. Flash. That was wise of him. Now, Dragon's actually the worst of the prizes we can take here. There's significantly better things we can do. But again, like I said, it's pretty easy for people to stay on task in mid-ELO to just give them something simple to understand. And we've got 15 stacks, and we're going to have a stopwatch after we kill this scuttle crab. And then we're basically set to go in through the rest of the game. We're going to keep on leveling the wall. The wall is our best tool for team fighting. And we've managed to get 170 CS in 21 minutes against active opponents. That's not bad. I'd really like people to start looking over here. I'll leave that for the guy. Guy was nice. He gave me some blue buffs. No reason to harbor any kind of negative. I'm not going to show him that I know. Although he, you know what? He had lingering vision. I could have saved that. We have this. Dunzo. GG. Alright, how much vision do we actually need before we go and step up for this? This is good. Now, I deal some amount of damage. I don't want to use my entire mana pool on this, but I'm going to give 2 E's before I move along, alright? So the idea right here, I get that, but now it's my job to actually provide a shield for my team. There's a blue buff waiting for me. I'd love to go get it. They're sieging, so I should really be keeping an eye on them. Looks like we're getting a free pop. Ooh, wrong way on the wall. Oops. So maybe I have to teleport here. Slightly disappointing to have to leave the blue buff alone, but team was getting into a fight, and it looks like we have an ending play anyway, so we were okay to continue. Hey, alright. I see you, Mr. Bard. We'll just go back and pick up the blue buff. We already got the inhib. We just want to back off. 100%. Back off, take away resources, right? Tax camps on the way out. This is something that doesn't allow them back into the game. I don't want to set any kind of traps, so that guy should be careful with his time usage. Did I kill the blue? What the hell happened to blue? Do I have blue? Did one of them take... What? I actually don't even know what happened here. Maybe I should have been a Seeker's Arm Guard. Slightly tankier. The cooldown doesn't do as much for me. You guys have to be careful. Oh, Pantheon just ulted for Swain. Now, this is going to be good for the one-shot potential. But we may have to pay for that in bot lane. And we should 100% be pathing towards bot. There is no end here if they even remotely resemble. Good macro. Do I jump over this wall? Stop backs. He's going to run out of that for sure. And we've gobsmacked him. Ooh, he fooled me. This thing's on cooldown. What? I have a speed boost. I'm just stopping this guy's backs, by the way. It's like nothing better than that. Okay, now never mind. We get a kill. Wasted. Sejuani was a fantastic teammate. Understood what to do, was in good places, was giving blue buffs, absolutely deserves it. Wait, and no Anivia egg, and you still int it? Nah, bro, please. I saw the game. Is this guy talking about them dying mid? I don't know what they're trying to get at. We didn't get our S, though. I'm surprised by that. Maybe not. Maybe not enough total kills, although I feel like we had full control over what was going on in the game at all times. Swain does that, where Swain does not give you any amount of prio to do anything. I feel like this guy's talking to his teammate. It's like, how did you die even when the guy had no egg? They might have a little bit of a problem here, right? We talked about their composition being complete ass, that there's nothing that you can do to protect Lucian or Akshan. All you can do is step forward and hope that these bodies are enough. Bard does not offer real peel. This is why in pro you see 280 carries paired with 3 tanks and not with anything else. Engage support, tank top, and then sometimes even like Cassante mid, but usually like Sejuani jungle to go along with a Tristana and a Caitlyn, for example, or let's see, what was more meta more recently? Tristana Phelios. And you do like Sejuani or Nautilus, right? That's that, or Alistar. That's the sort of combination. You need to have enough ways to hold people down for your marksman to just rip into them, 2 pairs of guns, focus fire, and then move on from there. So Pizro, I don't know if you caught that, but I did get an answer in for you. That is the element of today. We do every Tuesdays different mechanics. We do macro on Monday. We do meta on Wednesday, which is sometimes competing, sometimes like patch notes. Sometimes it's going over new builds that are popping up around the world. Yeah, Thursday is theater. Although since we're in the off season or preparing for Worlds, 6 days until Worlds starts. Basically every day is going to be Worlds Day. We're gonna have theater day every day. Plugging in and watching the games. Although the play-in stage, well, you know, the play-in stage has gotten more and more competitive year on year, so I don't mind watching all of those. Unfortunately, they disallowed co-streaming for us this year, so we won't be able to do that. We will just have to wait until the next day. Yeah, I should 100% of the time accept this. Okay, no big deal. Flat things, maybe gold things. Riven Warwick picked into Anivia. These are 2 champions that you absolutely do not want to play against Anivia. These 2 were... This was actually making me want to contemplate not picking Anivia, but then they just self-counterpicked themselves here. We have a Ziggs? Oh boy. Okay, everyone that can deal damage to me in the game most likely is MR. I don't know why I really went this. It's probably just last game, Swain. Swain's just not really a threat, right? It's just, you kind of just walk away from Swain. And then the other guys, the ones that we needed to worry about were Akshan and Jarvan showing up from out of nowhere. I'm fine like this. This will allow me to build my mana pool. Dematerializer I can use a little bit better than I did last game. Let's try to improve on that one. We did miss some CS while we were harassing. We did lose control of the lane state twice, actually. So we want to work on that. That game was a pretty big, like, stomp, just snowball. Front to back. I did not realize they made this into a prestige skin. Man, remember how awful that level 1 went? It would be interesting. It would be a pretty decent lesson to go back and see what people did after the level 1. I just hit level 30 on this account, so we shall see. Okay, well, do your best.
Minions have spawned.
Alright, Ziggs, I will basically never have the push against. And do this to kind of combat him a little bit. Just do that every single time. That's the one thing that we can do that he can't do, is pepper the entire wave with one spell. Hey, we missed one already. Nice aim by him. I don't know if he actually meant for it to... I did not need to take all that damage for that CS. Actually got tilted by my items being in the wrong spot again. Alright, we gotta fix this. Yeah. They've got DMAT as well, so you know what we can do to win this war? This attrition war? We can use our DMAT second. I'm very late on that. I was never gonna hit. Should probably get away from this. Alright, did he leave? Did he leave? Did he leave? If he left, then we're going for DMATs, and I think it's time. I think we actually need to. Hey, we missed it. Apparently we did need to. If he's really prudent, he'll actually leave this and start not pushing it. I feel like I need to get this in. No, you know what? We can just sit it here. I'm not a threat to him, but it's no big deal. He's not a threat to me. Ziggs, teleport is down, actually. They did get first recall. They are stronger, but they spent all their money on mana. Not a big deal. I'm gonna let the turret do some of the work for me here. Hey, really? It's not strong enough? I have lost chapter money, so I'm totally justified in leaving right here. But he's not really like making me do anything. I don't know. I feel like the longer I can wait here, the better it is, because he's going to be lower on mana for when we do have our showdown. Alright, and this is where I'll just accept it. Go. See, he's using resources, health and mana. I'm just going to be able to pop right back into lane. This game is another game where I don't mind being Roa. I guess there could be a Warwick right here. Kind of bizarre. I mean, maybe if they're using all their prio for this. Not that I expect flat junglers to like really be thinking about prio that much, but it is there. It is an element. I have a mosquito on my screen. Cast some spells. There you go. Thank you. He's actually coming in with a cannon, so we do have a gank window potentially here. Diego should cover mid. It's not very much of a bait. Just gonna come help them shove this out, because this guy's missing HP. They've got so much money that they're sitting on. They're not backing. This is a big waste. That is a lot of money that they're sitting on. Renata using a roam timer, not the end of the world. Gets a couple of spells out from this one. That's okay. But again, right, like there's so much gold. Now Zaya's just sitting here. I don't know. Maybe they're still afraid of us. There's a chance. Want to go get this blue buff. Yeah, it's just bad timers by them. She's getting super greedy to try to stay with this. Diego can try for this, though. Diego's looking bot again. Alright, I'm gonna try to sneak this in, although no, you know what? He's going for the hard shove. I can't do it. So this guy clearly wants to look at turret right now. I do not want to let that to happen. Oh, I put a bad placement here.
Ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. Enemy triple kill. An enemy has been slain.
Guys still going for another push? I don't have enough mana to really contest. This was a mistake. He didn't have enough mana to push this. So obnoxious.
Killing spree. Shut down.
So Viego, rather than forcing that play bot, which kind of happened like that push that we did bot, if Zaya just recalls and Zaya recalls, Viego comes to top side, we just get blue, we get Herald, we get all this action for free. There's plenty of momentum on that side of the map. Should be looking to go for this all in. Like that.
An ally has been slain.
Alright, we have Prio here. We're going to give ourselves some vision. Willing actually to tank some of this up. I'm going to tank because I'm going to be eating that, I'm going to be eating the juicy fruit anyways. Actually, no, maybe because Jax is here and he's even lower than we are, we're going to let them take it. Ziggs gets this turret, unfortunately.
Your turret has been destroyed.
It's really a shame that I don't have blue buff right now. Beautiful. It's so good for us. Alright, time to look at a teleport. Ziggs ult is down. We might be able to cover up top. Nope, he's just going for a hard shove again. We absolutely want to get that 350 gold. Yeah. Ziggs might be coming down, so now we're going to put Ziggs in a hard spot. We're going to say, all right, do you want to stay mid and continue this shove, or do you want to help with this push? Got my blue buff. Lol. We just walk into that. Okay, we got our blue buff at long last. Didn't spill my drink either, I still have my potion. I should be okay to sit down here. I can stay mid. We're going to go over here. We don't have teleport is a concern of mine, but it shouldn't be that big a deal. Alright, we're working. We're doing work. How you doing? I don't know what that means. Hopefully it's something good. This guy has 160 CS. He was able to get perma push. He was able to get that first blue. So, no, he actually did it without blue, right? He was able to just do it with base kit. Just a way to kind of juggle the minions so that they never hit you. And let's see, we got action top. Do I move over to mid? I think I'm going to move over to mid. Ensure that this gets pushed in. It's a more important wave to have, plus it gives me access to a little bit more here. Big Fiesta. This also puts me closer to the action, and bot lane's neutralized. It's not actually going anywhere. Got an enemy kill. Warwick's hunting. Do we come back over? I would have loved to get like all the information here. The fact that Ezreal didn't go over is kind of promising. Should be able to turn this into a turret kill. This was not worth for them. Woo! Alright, we got a lot of gold in that time. What are you up to, Viego? What are you up to, Viego? There's definitely a window for some action right there. Doesn't have ultimate, maybe doesn't have information, although we can assume pretty easily, I think, where the rest of their team's going to be. Let's go with Zhonya's next. Where she's supposed to be. Nothing against you or like how you want to play the game. It's just a way to die very easily that you probably don't want. Alright, they did swap it around. Good. It looks like, oh, we got some action. Unfortunately, it was with a pick. That's no good. Where else do they have the vision? Can I get in here? Probably not. Viego's looking. I might have a really good flank here. Ooh. Can they not siege without me? I mean, that might be the problem. can't let them get any closer to this turret. Isaiah went for Storm Razor? This doesn't make any sense. Helping this guy get the last hits here. We go there. 100% we go take Baron. Get away from this fucking death bush, you dumbass carry. Like, that bush is so inty, you have no clue. I mean, it's 100% correct to be here. Same as last game, I'll put it 2 E's, and then I'm going to go over and start zoning for my team. And we get it, and now we move along. Now we protect our mid lane. You shall not pass. Alright, we survived. Now I'm... No, you did not just teleport. That was so foolish. That thing went all the way around, huh? So did this one. Fascinating. Jax, Yaks. Don't get into trouble here. Definitely a ward over here somewhere. You have to give mid. Are they going further? They shouldn't be. They're trying for more? Okay, here we go. Really? Alright, our push turned into a kill on a turret up there. We've got almost enough for Zhonya's 1250, I believe, right? So we should be looking to push with Jax up, coming up soon, slightly at the same time as Ziggs, I should say, not slightly anything. Ready for this one? There we go. Gold. Did we get them all? Next, Baron, let's make sure to keep teleports up so we can push lanes. Chances are, yeah, there we go. There's the Riven. I have to go deal with this big push happening. Are they being flanked? How dangerous is it? Imminently. Big Renata ult.
Rampage. An enemy is godlike.
Deep breath. Who's up? We got Thresh, Ziggs. Ziggs is going to go for another lane. They have split calls. All right, beautiful. We don't lose. I'm going to put this ward up. This is the best defensive ward. If it looks like they're going to be pushing adjacent lanes, you always want this control ward down. Ouch. No. Bait, big bait. Please block. Thank you. Alright, it wasn't enough, unfortunately. That would have been so nice to have that in a fight. That guy dealt a lot more damage than I was expecting. And he's only about to get bigger. Once he recalls, he might be recalling all the way with Ravenous Hydra. Do we go preventative? I think we go preventative here. We want to keep this sort of position right here. Jax absolutely wants to stay for this flank. I just dead. Stop pinging, please.
Your inhibitor is respawning soon.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one. What's up, guys? How you doing? Yeah, you know, we're having a tough game here. There's not much going on. This guy wasted his teleport after we got Baron. People have just kind of been chain dying after that. We saw early on kind of what happened. It's a very ambiguous or ambitious ultimate. There's a lot of things to talk about, but playing better starts with me. And like, I'm working on skills too, so I know that I'm going to be making other more mundane mistakes. We certainly let Ziggs get the advantage in the push. We could have taken more and better backs. Really. It's alright. It happens. So if you guys are just tuning in, I see a lot of people coming in from YouTube. What's up, guys? You can check back in the beginning to see what this stream is about, what we got going on. Who do I give this to? I don't know. She stayed cool, I suppose. I should probably code the 100 CS challenge, right? So the different levels that are going in. The idea, first off, if you're low level, first time doing it, just go in, just try to get the most you can do it. Then you start practicing where as you hit a minion, look up, look into your periphery, find out what time is it, what time, where could the jungler be? Just start getting used to like moving up in between CS so you can get more comfortable. Then you aim for the target, you go for 100. Then you ask the critical questions and say, like, where could the jungler be right now? It's 2:45. If they spent 15 seconds per camp, that means that they're either 5 camping right now or they're 4 camp ganking. they didn't 3-camp gank, so it rules out this, and you start piecing together where the jungler can be, because that affects your movements and whether or not you can create pushes or pulls. Then you do it versus a bot. You put a bot into your game just so you have someone to just give your attention to something else. So just adding one more level. Then you do it with pushes and pulls. You try to get recalls at the highest level where you don't miss any CS, or you miss at most 2. And then you do the full dynamic, which is alternating crashes and pulls, cognizant of where the jungler is and what is going to be going on. So as you can see, when there's someone in your game, even though I can do that challenge fairly innately now, like I have rehearsed those skills, I can do that well, still applying it into a game when there's different factors like, is Viego going to give blue buff? Is he going to help to push? Is another jungler going to come in through here? Where are the gankable lanes? All of these things add up, and they make for that estimation of what to do as difficult as possible. And someone like Chovy, like Faker, they have this so down that they have patterns in their brain that they know what they're going to do. They know what they're trying to accomplish with the 5-minute push. They want to get that crash in. Either they've missed 0 minions and they're going to hit 6, so they want to crash it, or they want to crash it because they want to get a recall so that they can get their shop in, so that when they do come to back to lane with the 545 wave, that they're going to hit 6 with items and they can try to kill someone. That's especially important on someone like Syndra. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I appreciate the follows and the likes. I see a lot of support on the channel right now. It's all good stuff. I appreciate you. If you like content like this, make sure you like and subscribe. That'll help the channel out. It'll also make sure that we can get all this content out to you guys. Now, if anyone has a question about what we try to do, you know, what sort of other tactics are there, what else do we cover on Training Tuesdays, what do we do on the rest of the week, feel free to put them in the chat. We'll go over anything and everything. Now this is 1-1. Normally we play for best of 3s. This is training day though, right? So on training day, you don't need to complete for best of 3s. And most times I recommend that you do it in normals as well. This is something that we've done more than enough. So we're going to try to implement it into our like competitive games. That's the stage that we are at. Everyone else is going to be at whatever stage. It's different for every single person. But the first time, especially that you're implementing a new skill, just jump into normals. Just do it. All right. It helps a lot because getting the idea in practice in your brain, you can skip a step by visualizing it and seeing it happen and putting yourself into that situation. Feel your heartbeat rise as the intensity of the challenge goes higher and higher. That will get you acclimated to what it's like to do it in game. This is the same thing that you're going to do for your professional life when you're ready to give a presentation, or if you're a sports player and you're someone that takes free kicks for your team and there's a high pressure moment, you just need to do it. You want to put yourself in that situation before you're there so that you can get those extra reps. You get your mind used to what it's like to have that elevated heart rate, just enough to want to perform your best, but not enough to tilt you, like we've seen with players like Jensen in the past. And he's not the only one, believe me, right? There's dozens of examples of visual cues on camera during Worlds and the highest peak levels of performance where people get that nervous. He just happens to be the biggest example in NA. If you do find yourself getting a little bit too elevated, probably the most common thing that we talk about on this channel is blue button responses, ways to regulate your emotion to get up to that optimized and stay in that optimized spot. A couple different tricks you can implement. Let me see. I'd actually be able to pull it up right here. The drive. Excuse me for a moment. This right here. All right. Feel free to screenshot. You can take this. This is the idea of how to prepare. Now, something, I don't know what's going on with Google Documents. It keeps on changing their formatting, so it changes what these look like, unfortunately. But it gives you an idea of like how to get up, how to have the optimal chance for success just by controlling your surroundings, by controlling what your mental state is in. Also, if you look at one of our last videos, Fast 5, Controlling Your Emotions. It's a little 5-minute breakdown on how to regulate yourself, how to get yourself to that optimal spot, stop yourself from tilting, either from being too energized or being too pissed, right? Both of those things can affect you. So ideally, after you've done these skills and then you bring them into your normals game and you put yourself into real situations where there are no stakes, but you do care, right? You have to want to do well, but you're doing it in a normals game. You're not trying to focus on winning. You're trying to focus on making sure that your skill is really good. Once your skill feels confident that you say, all right, I feel like I can do this even under stress, that's when you move it over into your competitive games. That's when you bring it into, let's say you're training tennis and you say, I'm going to practice my down the line backhand and I'm going to practice this shot or my drop shot, like something really specific. You're like, okay, you know what? I feel really, really good about this shot. I'm ready to bring it into game. That's when it's time. Scorch, we're not really fighting against Victor at all. That was a mistake to have Scorch last game, by the way. We're going to go right here. We're going to use DMAT to try to fight against his push. He's going to have the advantage. I have it at 1. He's going to have it from 2 to 5. I have it again at 6. And then going from there, he gets a slight advantage once he gets his upgrades, because he gets to pop the entire caster wave that quickly. Now this game, before I've been going for a tier start against Victor, and this is something I should have done against Ziggs as well, Doran's Ring gives you enough. Tier is not quite enough to go and push for the entire wave. So there's different elements, different champions, how much they can push will affect your starting items, things like this. Now up top we have that. This is a mistake. This is just bad. You never want Aftershock on Malphite. Your job is to stay alive long enough to be in a good position so that when it is time to ult in, you can just ult, and you don't get that with Aftershock. It's gonna hit. Seconds. We don't have Malphite and they have 5. We're done. We're done. Don't even go there. Start here. It was a mistake of mine to go up there as well. Kane should start Raptors. Do not start. If you get a big leash with Zyra. Zyra is one of the few champions that can like change my mind about whether or not to get a leash, but then again, like you'd much prefer that Zyra were off building a wave in bottom. He has Aerie, so we actually don't want to let him do that again. Those continuations are good. We want to do it while the area is on cooldown. Mistake. That was a mistake. Alright, he's got the push. No big deal. We can just let it come into us. He's correctly using his Q on every cooldown possible. This game, let's see. He's going to help me with last hitting under turret, but if he's going to continue to play this aggressively, then my wall could actually empower Kane and trap the Victor while he's being this aggressive. So it's definitely something I'm going to consider in a bit. Good job by this guy using Spell to Harass right there as I'm going for last hits. Oh, okay. Alright, baited. Alright, I'm through with this. This guy is just beating the crap out of me right now. He's gonna have to flash. Yo, good job. Do I just teleport right here? No, you know what? I'm going to use DMAT. I'm going to continue the push. He's almost out of resources, so if he goes for this kill, it's actually going to get him killed. Now, I suspect that this guy, based on the way he's playing, will have some amount of knowledge on wave states and how to maintain things, and it looks like he's actually trying to get his recall in here. I'm going to take a faster teleport than otherwise. Oh, there we go. Caught his bluff. So now he's actually stuck. If he hits me here, he actually loses to these minions. Alright, now he's stuck in a really tough spot. I'd like to find a window. Nope. Not if he's going to keep on peppering me like that. And he has the demats too. The fact that he dematted the cannon, though, means that he's stuck. Smart by the Shyvana to actually force this. Now he's going to teleport back into lane. There he comes. I'm going to ask for my jungler to come over. Oh, look at this guy. Okay. Alright, yeah, he knows all the tricks. No, no, he missed it. Okay. If you do that and then walk off to the side, then there's nothing stopping the wave from actually, or nothing keeping the wave from moving in. You use the W, you move off to the side. He ended up having to use more spells and stand there, tank a little bit of the hits. You can do it with just the W, walk this way. This guy is showing very good lane mastery. Has very nice CS. He's barely missing any. He's getting good harass in, aiming his E's. He's manipulating waves. He's doing a very good job here. Kane's about to get this one. He's about to get a double. Go. Beautifully done. Unfortunately, Jin's going to be kind of big. What's up? How's my turret taste? Oh, I hate this skin. The fact that you can't hear or see that is such a pain in the ass. But it works out. Got it in. There's just enough time for it to get under turret. We'll count that as a victory. Now we're actually going to go... Do I want it? Should have done that faster, obviously. How to plan. I was thinking about getting a no magic mantle because of how much it helps me against this matchup right here. The fact that both jungle and mid. But now that I'm level 6, I don't really need to interact with them that much. Building up my mana pool is just as good. Might go Liandry's this game because there's less of threat on me. There's fewer people that are looking to dive this, I think. Good job using their prio here. Apologize, Kane. Except, sorry, Kane. I did my darndest. Now, what I can go is try to harass this guy off of his camps, for example. Like this here raptor camp. Because she can't stop dealing damage to it once she starts, so I'm just going to hide here for a moment and see if she pops right in. No, alright, that means we have a moment to do this. And that. And we'll come out and we'll get our tank shredding. Pieces of tank shredding. Would have been completely worth it if she started to take Raptor Camp to just walk over and cast the Q on the cast. You know, she basically can't stop these. Once they go to about 1/3 health, they're all mine. She'll be able to get the big one still, but that's a free 40 gold for me. Not free, but it is what it is. I love this guy's roaming Malphite. Every time this guy's ultimate is up, he's looking to use it. I just walked into that.
An ally has been slain.
Stuff. Alright, here we go. Do that. Used to be even better before when you could actually kill some of the minions and not all. And to leave the camp without respawning. So I'm going to use some of those resources. I'm going to fast push here and then I'm going to go do it again, but with more items. And so we get 2 waves plus a raptor camp. We get ourselves a little bit of extra attention. It's not quite enough for Leandries, which is a little bit of the pain. It is enough to, if we chill for a moment, to get these boots. Boots could be a big bonus for us, and especially since we have teleport, we're actually going to do it. Now we're coming over for the fight. We've got a control ward for this moment where it matters.
Ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Actually could have used it right here to continue to deny vision from the victor. Bot lane is totally gankable if we had any HP left. They might even be trying to hunt here. I can go pick this up. I can even invite Vayne to go to my lane. And just do this to make sure that no one's hanging out nearby. Cover the wave, please. But we have to stick around for this. Look at the big fat wave right there with a wave coming in. All right. No. I'm gonna hit. It's too, I mean, I'm going over now. Sharing XP is actually a good thing. Oh, this guy's messing up his own CS though. And now we're just super late on this. Put that terrain up for the Vayne, but it wasn't enough. Vayne's decision to come back and then stick around and fight for CS while also just being like very, very bad. That guy has no smite. Oh, no, he did? Alright, must have just come up. Or he was waiting to use it. I'm going to look to do the same thing to the Shyvana again, farm their raptors whenever I can. Gonna be fast shove here. I have to wait for Victor to put spells on cooldown, otherwise he can harass me. Here we go, and it's down. And Shyvana came in just in the nick of time for herself, but that's okay. We're going to get our Landries in base. Victor is looking to hard shove. We're going to start roaming in between action here. Now, this game we're going to have to play it a little bit or much more cautiously. We don't have Rod of Ages anymore, so we have to play for that. Luckily, they just misused the Herald here. If they had gone in and started punching the turret first, then they could have gotten way more effect out of this. Ult, quick. I mean, I see him. Get that tap off. Oh, are they coming for me? No, Garen didn't get the memo that Jhin and Leona are coming. Alright, so that actually could have bitten me in the butt there. Looks like Anivia, or the Vayne, is not trying to rotate. It looks like they want to just sit and park themselves in a lane. Unfortunately, they're going for the bad Bork build. I think that thing was hitting it.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Don't know if it was worth. Means that mid gets destroyed. It was already at like 600 health, so it was very, very low. I don't mind having Malphite be more centralized, though. His ult is much more relevant for our big team fights that are coming up. $143. Let's see if we might actually have a chance of getting a 200 this game. Who's coming up here? Who is here? Is Garen here? There he is. Actually start moving towards the Victor here. So, that's enough, Mr. Victor. Tempted to teleport to this. Absolutely need some more gas in the tank, though. Could teleport here. Could go like way, way behind them. Looks like they just cleared that out. Shyvana being nearby is a little bit concerning. We have flash, no ultimate available here. 15 seconds for the Malphite. We have no prio for this. I tried. Knew it was kind of be a little bit of a reach there. Going in when you don't have prio is such suicide. Max. See how good my mechanics are right there. Case in point. Oh, am I gonna die by going here? Probably. And we need you to mid. Are you ready? Oh, here we go. We're in. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna die here. Come on, guys, go in. Go fucking in. All in. My goodness. What did they get zoned by? Anyways, I'll just take the part of this as a win. Oh my god, that Night Harvester is about to kill them all. Kane just canceled it, luckily for them. Risky going in. I don't mind it though. That was our chance. Team has a foot out the door. Purple Kane, I love it. Not quite. Nice try, Kane. Do a vein. Go for the kills on everybody. Just dead to that guy. He built. Hey, Vayne, look. Full macro off for them again. Purple Kane. Garen's a problem though. Garen's a problem for Purple Kane.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your turret has been destroyed.
Yeah. Kinda wanna. Oh, I don't want to give it. We do want this game to prolong. We have a Nivea Vayne. We should be okay. Afraid of what's up here. Vayne has just put their head into the sand. They refuse to be here for this. Let's see if we can't get some mid-prio. Kane actually got out of this situation. I mean, the good news is she's going to be huge. The problem is that she could have gotten Triforce by just being in those fights. Unfortunately, we have videos like Skill Capped that tell AD carries to just go off and do their own thing for the whole game. Don't trust your teammates, which is good to get out of Iron and nothing else. They are not showing people. It is completely disingenuous, in fact, because the people who are in, the people who are carrying those games, like Hector has an insane mechanical advantage over everyone else that's in those games. It's not even close. So, anyways, we'll have to see what it plays out as. Bump him a little bit. Bump him. Good. Good. Hey, look, we had a Vayne and we won the fight. Such a surprise. Now, it should be my job actually to go for that. Vayne hard counters Garen as well. Would be wonderful. This guy's intently not listening to pings. We don't have enough time to steal camps. Maybe we should have done that first. Could have done that and then come back to the wave. Might have been, would have actually netted us a little bit more gold. There's not really much for us to accomplish down here, so let's just go ahead and get tankier. We deal a significant amount of damage, so we just need to kind of hide behind Malphite for these fights. We have teleport available. They have soul. We're going to be fighting for Elder. Vayne's going to be on 2.5 items. Not even. No reason to really go out here. We don't know what's in the rest of this woods. Just lay it like this. There's a teleport happening behind us. It's something. It's not going to be enough, though.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
So he's stopping backs. I don't think we're able to salvage this. I just need to get back in. Missed our chance maybe to get in this fight. Might have been our own mistake there.
Shut down. Enemy double kill.
I'm trying to get back. This numbnut's getting in my way.
Your turret has been
Alright, Purple Cane, I believe. I'm running in the long way. Okay? Okay? Okay?
triple kill.
This guy is not built for this. Whew. I actually don't even have enough mana to cast this spell, so I'm gonna have to be judicious with my usage here. I don't have Dorans either to like get the mana back as I'm fighting. Alright, do we go something super tanky like Frozen Heart? I don't think so. Maybe it's just this. Hope it's enough for the next fight. Dude, this Vayne's gonna be huge from all this split pushing. That works. There's nothing you can do in this game that singularly outpaces what a team can do together. I would love to be the one to hold the waves here, but I don't have my teleport, so... Are they trying to amass a big push? They may. Back up, hold right here. It gives me time to get an extra wave up in top. This will buy us about an extra 45 seconds. Alright, they're looking at Baron. They're actually doing the Baron straight up. Whoa! Woo! I'm dead here. Couldn't get Zonya's off. But it does mean that my team's getting Elder. So this is not the worst thing in the world. I don't mind pulling especially their two biggest players off to do this. Let's go take a peek, make sure we win this fight. Burst the Garen, please. King got it. All right. We have Elder. We win this fight. Malphite's going to clean up. Vayne's going to clean up. All right. Go in. Oh, he's so afraid. He's so afraid. We have the one that matters. I am up in time to watch this die, but Vayne needs to go and ham against this Shyvana and hope that it's early enough. No, see, like right there, you can't like this. All that farm to do that. Yikes. Alright, well anyways, hopefully that gave you some tips on A, how to get some clears in on Anivia, how to play some mid waves to get some extra action in, how to secure yourself decent CS each game. Obviously we made some mechanical mistakes, so you're going to improve on those. And is this just going to be like this? Alright, so instead of doing this, let's just add them and give them a chance to learn what they're missing. We see what's going on with this though. This is still good. That works. In post game. This thing's so huge again. I thought I should chop this down. Windows set. No. This is what it used to be for a long time. There we go. That was our client because our other monitor is tiny, so we just do that. Bot account. It looks like it works. I'm going to try logging out, though. How did the stream go? Did the stream go down? It looks like it's still having issues. All right, so we competed. Now we're going to go back and review ourselves. If you really want to get good after you play that best of 3, you're going to go back in. You want to go check out your games, how you actually performed, right? So you have how you think you did. You know, that's your mental preparation. Like in the moment with the stressors, did you catch all the elements that were going on? Probably not. You probably missed something. So it's a good idea to go back in, review. You can go watch your own stream to see your mouse clicks, to see like how many times am I clicking away when the fight is actually forward. How can I fix that? All right. Most people click away so that they can move their screen. That's the number one thing that they're looking to do, is before I move my screen, I click in the direction I'm going and then I move my screen. So it's it goes something like this. It's like click, move screen, and then readjust. Well, turns out you can solve that by playing spacebar. So there are different elements that you can do for sure within each game. All right, so let's check out. We're going to go Nivea. We can keep it like this. Keep scoreboard up. Okay, good little stutters on both of those. Missed that one. Decent dodge. We have the push. All right, so right off the bat, this is a Jarvan jungle. I'm doing a good job of staying on the left side of lane, assuming that we have a potential path. But right there, I pathed towards where Jarvan could be coming from. Could have gotten me killed, and I do believe that it actually does get me killed later. I don't mind being this health as a Nivea, especially versus someone like Swain, because they just don't have any kill pressure. And in fact, it can sort of bait someone like Jarvan to come by. Now we get perfect information. So far, I'm very happy with all this. See how we last hit under turret. That was an unnecessary Q because it also made us miss another one, and it put our Q on cooldown at this moment. So we actually, by not preparing ourselves, we ended up taking extra damage. We missing 3 CS. All right. Okay, our movements have been pretty good. Apart from that, like, really big gum up over here, we've been okay with this. Again, Anivia doesn't mind being super low because if Swain wants to expend all their resources going for the kill, what do they have left, right? So here's the ignite. Oh, this is when I didn't have the egg. Whoops. So never mind. I had to be a little bit more careful about that. Got by the Swain there. We didn't teleport. We ended up using teleport early. The level 1 was something we could have done better here. Next one. Oh, we have a big stacked wave. This is one where we want to get in and get out of this wave. This is the one that should get us to level 6. Jarvan did a good job pathing through. Very nice movements to stay away from the path that Jarvan was most likely to take. Now Jarvan coming up here without prio ends up getting him killed. Or ends up burning his flash, I should say, but that's plenty. Gets the Swain killed. But Swain again could have just walked away. These are people kind of just stepping a little bit too far. This is overall a very, very, very good trade for us. Swain dying and Kale getting kills is like the best of all worlds. Not only that, but midwave was coming towards us, so we were able to clean that up. I like this ward. We knew that Jarvan had come from bottom to top, but we also knew that Red was respawning, so there's a good chance that he's coming back. We also want to have the timer on this Raptor respawning. We got the push out. This is fantastic. Happy with all of this. I didn't ping the Swain leaving. Perhaps I should have. This is a redundant ward. You don't want to do this. These wards are sharing space. You want this ward on the other side so you can tell. Like, if you see them come out and if you see them go into this grass and they don't come out, you know they're in the grass or they went this way, right? There, you can put wards in paths that will see different avenues. Now, something that I actually... I'm going to pause for a second. I normally put a ward like right here. The reason being that when they're walking with their sweeper, I don't want them to see it. But there's actually a spot right here that still sees this entire intersection, a little bit less of this area, but it will see them if they decide to leave this bush and go right, if you pair it with this ward. Now, that's this ward. The best ward to combine with it would be one right here, so that you can see both this junction and see this escape route, so you know if they go into this bush. If you don't see them again, they're in the bush. This ward can just be improved. This one should be out here, okay? You want to put it right in the middle to the point where it sees this entire area. Not only that, but if there's any control wards in this bush, on this corner of this bush, or in this bush, that you will see them, all right? Because it will turn off. So you can actually use a ward to find red wards by placing it right here. Then if you do it here, then you're fine to put it off a little bit higher up and try to disguise this ward and make it so that they can't see it with a sweeper. Again, the point being that when they cast their sweeper, usually they do it with the tail end right here. They're like, right here, they're going to walk straight down. That range goes right here. So I could have improved some of my vision, but something that the Swain can be looking at as well. I like the follow-up here. I like the trap. I don't mind using my resources. Unfortunately, this guy can feed off my egg, but again, he gets a little bit too hungry for his own kill. Means that that we get the step up. And from here, we're just once we get into Roa territory and tier stacked, we're just very, very happy. This game also Sejuani. Go figure, the game that we got blues donated to us was the game that we had the easiest win. A little bit of a lesson. A lot of people now as junglers, we have a lot of new junglers in the environment. Not only that, but the game has incentivized you of like, yeah, just like finish off all your candy eggs and then you can share buffs later. And so people end up giving away 0 buffs. And like, that's not right either. Someone like Anivia absolutely needs it. In the game set we had, Kane, whatever, Diego taking blue buff was like a pretty big grief. And that's something we want to avoid. But from here on out, we're pretty happy. We end up stacking this. We get blues for ourselves and going off. Let's check out the next one. Oh, shoot. I wanted to go check out what the next one was. Just get a tab of what we got at 10 minutes. All right, 66. Game that had a lot of action. Still, 66 can be taxed pretty heavily. Okay. They deserved it. Not my main, clearly a bot, right? Anytime you see name plus random hash, 9 out of 10 times they bought this account. All right, what's next? But especially like, I don't get it. So one of the things that we go over is the different ways that you can handle stress so that you can go off and practice things and try hard, not caring and trolling. And my team trolls, I troll. Basically what he's trying to do is protect his own psyche, right? If he loses because he trolled and not because he tried hard and failed, then it's not his fault because he did it because he trolled, right? That's what's going on in your brain. And there's better ways of performing, right? Like, I don't think anyone wants to go into a game with trying to lose as the goal. And even if you get upset, if you were going to go to yourself and ask yourself 2 hours earlier, you're about to play some games of League of Legends. if your team plays poorly, would you rather be the hero and win the game, or would you rather be the worst on your team to make sure that they lose? And I don't know anybody who would say I would the second, right? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. All right, this is a game where we played with Scorch that we definitely shouldn't have been Scorch, right? We're not trying to harass Ziggs. Ziggs can out wave clear Anivia all day long. Good job getting all those, but we are pretty low on resources. We'd like to get a recall in soon, especially since they're going to start looking for theirs. Good job. We got all 6 casters that made it to our turret. Now, I probably actually shouldn't have cast any spells there because it cost me a lot of my tempo, especially that W. Now Ziggs gets to go off and get his... That's our first miss. It's because we ran out of mana. We should have recalled rather than trying to push this. This was a mistake. We missed the cannon as well. Missed several CS. And this right here was a kind of awkward situation where we wanted to get him to push. Yeah, I don't like this, right? We missed our recall, and then we kind of created more bad situations. We're happy to, like, tax Ziggs into staying here. And again, we got all 3 casters, so I'm very happy with that. But when I think of it, now I'm stuck. Right now I can't do anything. Now he has a roam timer and I don't. Now he doesn't actually use it. This is on him. He absolutely should have used it. And this is, again, cannon wave. 100% I had time to go recall and go for this. I was worried that he was going to demat and go in from here. Did he still have a charge? Yeah, he didn't have a charge. So if I were really being attentive here, I would have seen that he didn't have the dematerializer charge, and then we could have gone. A couple of things that we could have done better relating with the jungler too. Actually could have gone for that last hit as well. We hard shove. This is that word I was talking about, right? Out of view of the sweeper as they pass by. We get the hard push. We're going to go over and help with this situation. Now, this is a good moment to think about. This ward that I got out here, it's meant to protect. This ward is too shallow. All right, this ward doesn't really do anything when you're blue team. It sees the guy as he jumps over the pit, but the same thing could have been accomplished with a ward right here that sees in this angle anyone who's using that blast cone, which doesn't even spawn until 9 minutes anymore, so you don't even need to worry about it. But anyone who's going to end up here would have been seen by this ward, right? You can see all the way to right here. So if they're pathing this way, they're passing that ward. If they're pathing this way and jumping over, they will pass this ward. So this one's really lazy. You can do much better by going out here. Because this one's shallow, I went out and tried to place a complementary one. This one I kept a little bit further out. Basically, as we get to the end of these durations, the blast cone is going to be coming out. Could have gone deeper. Probably should have been all the way out here. But again, I wanted to cover a little bit of Ziggs roaming because he's been ahead of me on tempo and timers. So I may not be able to see Ziggs if he knows to hover this angle. I don't think he would. I don't think that they necessarily have the timer on this ward. So all things being told, I think it's okay. And pairing these 2 wards together means that I have derivative vision of this entire area and I don't need to worry about it, right? So if I swap to blue vision as I roll out, even though I'm not here, I know what's in this fog, right? Anything that goes through this fog, it has to come through mid. Now, this is something that, it was a jungler for the Taiwanese team. He played Tank Jarvan at Worlds 3 years ago. Let me see if I can remember his name. I forget. But in this moment, at this timer, now back then the waves were coming through at different times, but here, 6:56, you actually have a moment where you can sneak in after the wave dies. You can come sneak in through here and not be seen if you're there right before. Like 6:56 is the limit for when it's coming into vision. And that is something that they did to get around these 2 wards. They came in from this position and they hugged this wall and hid in this bush. And this was exploited. So every ward combination is exploitable somehow. In this game, if you had like a Jarvan, for example, and if you knew that these were the wards that they like to place, you could go right here and you could EQ over this wall. And then suddenly you can get into this pocket without them seeing you. So something to keep in mind at the absolute highest level. That is not relevant until Pro, maybe in Elite, but even in Elite, it's not that important. All right, this roam timer is not the best because we didn't get the fast push first. It's also not a cannon wave. We do want Viego to just cover this. He's going to get peppered a little bit, but he can pick up the XP. The reason that we're covering bot is because we saw the wave pushing in, but I don't think that there's really anything to go for here. This was the big moment I want to talk about. Now, this may have confused Xayah. I'm going to guess. So, what in game we thought that they had at least 900 gold. So I'm going to assume that they have at least 875. That's my guess. I'm going to press 0 and X and tell you, and she has 723. Okay, so it's not a great purchase. And if we look at the items that she has, she's sitting on this. She probably is going to need to buy again before finishing her call. This is what I was hoping to get in, that we'd be able to unlock them to get significant pieces of, at the very least, Kraken Slayer, and she could have. Right now, with 700 gold, she absolutely has the recurved bow. If you're Xayah here, take this recall. Your team came in, you shared experience, that's fine. You're generating more experience on the map, not from 2 to 3 people, but from 1 to 2. That's always the case. But right now, we have this tempo window. Maybe she's feeling like, I'm so healthy, there's like nothing really to do here. But if you come back for this window, then that unlocks the support to be able to come to the Herald. It also means that you'll get your recurve bow, and your recurve bow will be a substantial combat advantage right now, whereas right now you don't really have combat advantage. 300 attack and a little bit of attack speed. All right, we're going to call this a wash, and then you have the same gold in inventory that they do. They have 1450, you have 1300. All right, a lot of some of their powers in future generation, you've got Sheen proc and Tier, which can both be exploited. You should be able to beat this, but it's close. It's like close enough. If you get recurve bow, then you are stronger, and you are just straight up going to win those fights. At this stage in the game, a half item is significant. So this is where Xayah wants to take a recall, especially after you take any amount of poke right here. Absolutely sitting here, and especially with 70% health, is a blunder. This is a blunder. You need to fix this to get good. What are you going to do here? Now you're 80% using refillables and being zoned off your wave because you missed your recall timer. All right, we'll go back to mid. How are we holding up as a Nivea? 58. We got a little bit gapped to this game, and I think Scorch was a big part of it. Obviously, it wouldn't have mattered as of yet, but we haven't touched the Ziggs a single time, and we're not going to have anything to show for it. The other thing that does happen in this game is Viego does not take blue. This was the case where we wanted Viego to come over and take this. There's nothing for us here. Bot side, Xayah is playing from behind with a late recall timer. This Krug's take is actually a pretty big mistake as well, right? We're missing out on a significant chunk of tempo, and going bot is awful. All right, this is just really bad. You do not want to make this path. Look at the discrepancy, all right? Again, same thing. They've got the same amount of gold here. Their support has slightly more stats than ours. Some of ours are tied into mana regen. They have the HP lead, and they have the level lead, okay? There's nothing, you do not want this fight. Xayah at 6 is not enough to make up for the fact that Renata does not have 6. Now, Renata's 6 is kind of fake until she's 11. It's almost bad enough to the point where I wouldn't put a point in her R at level 6. I would wait until level 10, the way that Ryze used to do. Because at level 11, you absolutely want to have 2 points in it, because that's an actual 2.5 seconds rather than 0.75. And you'll be able to hold people down long enough to actually get hits on. At most levels, even at pro, 0.75 seconds is one attack and then they walk away. That's it. And there's very little window to try to chain anything better than that. Luckily, Ezreal zoned himself here. This could have been an easy kill if they just went forward. By killing the one, then they could have gone 2v2 against the other two, especially since we have just level 5 here. But they end up cleaning up this fight anyways. And look, we've got Xayah on nothing. Luckily, that guy overstepped a little bit. We get something back, but who's the big benefactor? Ezreal didn't get any kills, but 3 assists, gold plate. He's going to get a free back right here. This might even be the entirety of his Triforce. Spent a lot of time on that bot lane. Want to go back in. We'll go full camera. They're going their shop. Okay, no. There you go. What did he sell? Sold potion to make it happen. Fair. Okay. So he's almost got it. What is he sitting on? 480. Yeah, so he's tempted. Like, he's so close to the rest of that Triforce. I'm glad for him that he took that recall, though. It's going to open up some more windows for him. All right, where's this moment where I really, really desperately wanted this window? Yeah, right here. And you know what? I'm busy stuck last hitting under turret, so I lost my focus in this moment. But if you see this and you're the jungler, 100% come mid, help your jungler clear it out, get the push, and then with prio come on over, give it to them. You generate the same amount of total gold. You get more gold faster, or you get the gold faster by doing it together. Then you come over, Anivia ends up with blue buff, Ziggs is stuck in the lane, you both get to be out in the river. It's just an easy logic puzzle. If you're a jungler, come straight into mid, help them push, then come over and give the buff, and you're in a wonderful situation. Especially with someone as mana hungry as Anivia, and someone as mana indifferent as Viego. That little bit of cooldown is not enough to want to take this, and especially in the face of these pings, it's like, this is just griefing. You are just making your team worse in this situation. You've lost time, your turret has taken damage, Ziggs doesn't feel any pressure, Anivia can't do anything about it, and now you're just sitting there. You took blue rather than your other ones, so what's that going to do? It just means blue spawns a little bit faster. You're not using this blue, it doesn't do anything for you, and your Gromp and Wolves that you could have been doing alternatively, even if you weren't donating a blue buff, get those to respawn faster. Now you have to wait, and by waiting you're actually slowing down your own tempo. So cannot describe enough how bad this play is, and you need to change it. If you're a jungler, look for this opportunity to pass off, to get prio together first, and then move into the jungle in whatever way, shape, or form that would be. Now we come back. Ziggs has turret plates. Nivea's fighting to try to get mana, does not have teleport, so she's going to have to deal with Ziggs teleporting first again. Ziggs is going to have the push again, gets to go straight into the wave if he wants. He actually could have just teleported right here. Teleporting on one of the minions also would have kept this one alive, so you actually would have generated an extra 21 gold for themselves. But now Anivia, because they had to walk back, has to deal with this amount of push. Ziggs had to be a little bit more cognizant of what side their safety was on. All right. Viego had been bottom, was definitely top side. Your Warwick is bot side. Your wards are bot side. So where should you be standing as you're going for this push? This way. All right. Poke, get ready to even leave stage right. Don't walk straight back to your turret because they have the angle on you. Right? This was my favorite moment of all three games, by the way. Stopping the jump with the wall. All right, let's back it up to 10 minutes and just get a tab of where our CS was. This game's probably going to be the worst out of all of them. We didn't get any of these yet, so we're fair to look at this. 10:03, 78. 78, not awful. Considering how strapped we were, partly in our own decisions, partly due to not getting that blue. But that blue was late enough right there that it doesn't really matter for this number, but for the health of mid lane in general going forward, you saw what Ziggs was able to accomplish in that push. Now, I probably could have fought that with, again, better use of mana, no Scorch, maxing Q, or getting 3 points in Q at the very least by level 5. I could have potentially gotten more out of that. All right, this game, I feel like, you know what, I want to look this guy up, because this guy was playing lane very, very well. Well, 500. Interesting. Has a tanking rating on their two most popular champions, plays Ahri the most. Definitely mid lane, definitely carry, you know, battle mage or control mage. Like that their champions are basically identical. They play the same sort of champions in all of their games. That's fantastic. Talia's a fantastic pick. Should be taking a Talia most of the time. They just played this lane phase very, very well. Oh, it looks like this is just where they're at. Sure, they're going to climb higher than Gold 3. Obviously now with the changes, but I expect them to get to Emerald. With that, they may have had, let's see, what did they do in the end game? Was there anything drastically poor? Let's resume. Don't mind the continued trade here. I keep taking poke from the E. This position right here, Kayn could exploit this. They do have the ward down here though, so they have very good information about where Kayn is. So I actually am very if he's doing this for the sake of baiting Kayn to think in that he can come there, then this guy has his mid lane fundamentals down pat. If you're at that level, then that is basically end game. All right, you are doing everything right. If you have vision of the jungler and can bait them because you know that they're safe, like you can account for all the people that could potentially threaten your lane, then you come over here knowing that there's a good chance that you can bait them to come over, and then you can slide over to the other side and cause them to lose tempo. It may only gain your team 5 seconds, but in the difference of like farming junglers like Kayn and Shyvana, that can be a pretty big deal. I actually want to go really quickly. What happened here? Oh, gross. Okay. Now this happened because of the invade, but there is no world where you want to go red Raptors Krugs. You can go red Krugs Raptors, and then you're closer to the other side of the map. But now you're backtracking on yourself and putting yourself as far away from the action as possible. Unless you think that you're definitely going to be able to get a gank here, but it's Kayn. Like, what are you going to make happen in this case? So this path is problematic, right? This puts you in a tough spot. Not only that, but they had warded from the invade, so you're putting yourself back in vision. At the very least, you maybe use your E to go through here. Now, a lot of people go and they put their second spell in the W, which is fine. But honestly, you can go Q, E, Q, and then W. Depends on which path you're going for, but that can give you plenty of action, keep you higher health, and keep your tempo higher. Just because you don't have access to one spell doesn't mean you're not doing work, and staying healthier, getting to a camp quicker means that you kind of make up for that because you get to cast your Q more often. I'm taking a lot of hits from the Victor. I'm fine with where I'm playing. Maybe it's better to play down here. I want to be in turret range. Like I said during the live cast, when he's going to harass me, it's almost tempting to see him step up here and use my W. Now, I do want to mention this right here is unnecessary. He may know that this ward is going down, but you have an innate timer of when Kayn passed through here and a ward that will see him pathing through these rocks. This one's not going to actually do anything. So if you're truly being attentive, then you'll know that this is not necessary. Hold on a moment. I've got a phone call. Looks like it's important. All right, turns out not so important. Now that kind of gave it away. I also don't have my W, so there's not really much to go with the kill. That should have been lighting his spider sense on fire right there when I'm stepping up. Let's see how much he knows about this. He did see Kayn. All right, so I'm no longer going to give him credit for baiting this because he's still hanging out on the bottom side. Now, with known information that Kayn is down here, you should absolutely be on top side, especially even if you didn't, you do know that Shyvana's here. See, 100% of the time, you want to be on this side of the lane and start harassing from over here. This guy kind of walks himself in. Maybe he thinks like, yeah, I'm still good. Like if I can still bait, that would be a little bit of a reach now, especially since I'm about to hit level 3. These two minions. Sorry, these two minions and the cannon. It's going to be enough to get there. Maybe I shouldn't have cast my Q, although I really wanted to get that spike. For 3, it does mean that he has to flash. And so, yeah, I'm not going to give him credit for wanting to bait this because he's still got himself into a little bit of a pickle here. The problem is that now we're looking at Shyvana, who's finishing their 5th camp, while Kayn is still on 3, not even looking at their 4th. So we have a big jungle discrepancy here, tempo-wise. Should be busting all my mana to do this. Now this is not enough to hold a freeze, especially with cannon coming on the 4-minute wave. It's definitely going to be busting through. This one's going to be about even. This one's dying very quickly. We have 2 casters, but these are going to take the aggro before the next wave shows up. You see this, right? Pop. So it's not quite enough for a freeze. Victor potentially just teleports right back in. Decides that he can use more resources to come back in. Because of that, we teleport in. I don't think I actually necessarily needed to. He's just not strong enough to get this wave all the way in, but the dematerializers could change that. And now he actually ends up with a better position where he's going to be able to get this recall off while I'm at 30% health. So debatable whether or not I've actually accomplished anything for myself here. Okay, good pattern right there. Now I'm trying to get out of this situation, willing to use my HP a little bit. Don't need to in for this. This is where I got, I don't want to say intimidated, maybe a little bit intimidated, but I started thinking that I'm going to have to do more good things and play better in this game, because this right here is the sign of someone that knows, you know, ins and outs of wave management. They didn't actually catch everything perfectly. After you cast that W, you want to step off to the side here or step off to the side here. And Shyvana just came to your right side, so it would be completely fine for you to step off to the right and then pull this wave. It aggroes on you, it drops aggro on the bush, and then your wave comes out here. Anivia has no health, they cannot stay, and you get to freeze the wave right here. Instead, you end up with a slight crash. It's still okay, but this wave is going to have some, a little bit of tendency for one of these melees could easily just be like, yep, let me start attacking over here. It's going to be very hard to survive this without taking some significant amount of damage. I like how he moves it over to the right. But here we go, and this is the end of the freeze. Now, he also was targeting the casters, which seems a little bit bizarre. You want the casters to be alive to eliminate more of your minion wave. This is just keeping minions alive for me by doing it this way. This control ward absolutely wants to be 1 inch away. You want to put it in here, like put a thumb down on your screen, in between the rock and the bush. You absolutely want that space because they can actually tuck a ward right here that can see your control ward. Your control ward cannot see it. Bait and E. He's got level 6 advantage. And this is, we're going to see why Psyops Victor, I don't know if it's actually not allowed, but right here, there's an R cast on this as well, and I just can't see it because it looks exactly the same. It's got that same like huey like bubble effervescence going, and so I'm sitting there, and then I realize, wait a second, there's an ultimate hitting me as well. But it ends up getting the guy killed, going for that extra damage in. Don't mind it. All right, really quick, what would you do right now? You're Anivia, you just hit 6, you're at 1/3 HP. You know all the things that you know that we've seen so far in this game. We'll even we'll just put it on blue cam for a second. What should your plan be? Give you guys a second to chime in. All right, the factors to look at, obviously we want a recall, but we have plenty of mana, so we have this resource available to us. Also, this wave right here is going to be coming in. Even if we bursted this wave, this next one's going to be reinforcing just in time to stop this one from getting all the way to turret. This means that we'll end up with a double stacked wave that'll just be killing minions in front of me. For all these reasons, I want to shove this and I want to shove. I've also hit level 6, so I absolutely want to take that window for myself. This right here is a mistake. Victor's dead. We easily could have gone in for the rest. Like we said, we got this. Next wave is going to go. Actually, did this turn out to be just enough? Okay, I lucked out. It was just enough. I don't want to say I lucked out because it was perhaps predictable. But enough of my wave is dying right here. I could have killed this wave easily as well. And potentially give myself an extra item. 179, get an extra 105 gold. 300. Yeah, we'd have enough. 265 to get the rest of Lost Chapter. So I cost myself a completed Lost Chapter by not going after this wave. All right, that's enough of that. Let's take a peek at 10 minutes. 76. This game was actually, I had the most duress, most pushing pressure from Ziggs, and yet still had my highest CS. So I'm kind of happy with that. I was able to go under pressure. But that said, that's all I could do. I was sitting under turret with low mana several times, and it didn't really give me any good opportunities to create any sort of meaningful play anywhere else. Let me check what these things are. All right, that's an important message. We'll wait for the reply there. In the meantime, we'll jump into a chess game. I don't think we really have time, depending on whether or not my wife is getting the kids or I am. It's a fairly common thing to do. He thinks he's ruining my pawns, but when he puts his knight here, he's actually putting himself under severe duress. It's also going to allow me this really nice diagonal. Question is, where am I going to put these pieces? I think I'm going to take control of opposite, almost like Fianchetto's. Oh no. Oh, this knight, I've just allowed this knight to do something awful to me. If I give up a knight for extreme activity, give up the rook, I mean. I'm gonna do it. Guy. We're gonna try to put all the gas on. This goes here. Now we can actually mount this attack as well right there. This thing is pinned, so it's not actually attacked. What else can we fight this? I can attack this, but then once I check him, he's gonna come over here. Then I don't have any other safe places. Maybe I just go there anyways? Is there enough of an attack? Probably not. So I'm kind of x-raying through this. If I go here, he has to come here. Then am I threatening this kind of checkmate? Maybe. You know what? It's fun, so let's do it. Kind of using like really strong leverage of pieces together. I have no way of dismounting this thing, dislodging this thing. That's bad. All right, we'll just pin it. This is gonna, yeah, he's gonna be able to chase out this bishop. Even if I go here, he can just this. Maybe I want him to do that. This will stop some of his development. So now I am paying the price of my doubled pawns because I can't actually attack this thing. And this sequence is much too slow for me now. Maybe there was a window of going fast enough if I skipped the rook moves. I spent 2 moves doing this. If I had done this with both rook moves, maybe I would have been okay. He's trying to fork me here. I care. Should just take this. He gives me a lifeline. Oh, he's just gonna block it. Okay, yeah, maybe not so much of a lifeline. Ah, this should have come back here. Go further back now. I really have so little play here. Down by so much material. All right, now he gets to infiltrate my position. I'm actually going to guard over here. Now, he could start marching up. I don't think, yeah, never mind. I'm just completely. I don't know if he was offering a draw or something. Yeah. All right, the word is in. The kiddos are getting taken. All right, let's change it up. Let's play more assassin beat mid. We've got time for one game to compete with. One game to get it in. Is it tons after? Now, sometimes tempo dictates that you want to get that in sooner. And I don't mind in the moments where I'm absolutely trying to get something done for those roams, but I don't think that that was all the time. I kind of got used to this now. Maybe I do want it this big. Easy champion to play. Very good into Kha'Zix and Viz. Even Thresh to an extent. Thresh has more than enough peel to compensate, but Garen can just be a body. And he can have the tenacity to kind of ignore the effect of the hook. No. Alright, I'm fine with this here. Alright, here we go. Time to kick some ass. Man, it's hot again. 80 degrees outside. Which I'm very thankful for. Prefer that to the chilly weather. Doesn't mean that it's sweaty down here. Uh-oh. We didn't do the thing. We told ourselves that we were gonna restart and we didn't restart. Shit. I don't know. I don't see it. Huh? Connect? Oh? Alright, we'll try one more time. Fast loading because we're the last person in the game, naturally. This guy went first strike, okay. Alright, normally we go Dark Seal. But we should have some opportunities to get some trade patterns in against a Zed. Dark Seal and refillable is totally fine against mages because you're not spending any mana. You're basically just letting them push you in and then you're getting the last hits with your W. Gives the mana back anyways. This is almost definitely an early Seeker's Arm Guard angle. I don't know if it's an early Zonia's all the way. Definitely early Seeker's Arm Guard. And I got hit. He got first strike. I used resources. Thresh missed hook. He gets unscathed. It's just an L. This is an easy win for Urgot. Oh, lethal tempo as well. Okay, lethal tempo doesn't seem very good. You turn on your things, like, sure, it's gonna proc quickly, but then how are you using it? I guess you get the extra attack range. Kazac's going red raptors. Hopefully this means he's going Gromp, because every other path sucks. Team's trying to... There we go. I'm ping there, make sure he goes over. He may not do it. Alright, noob jungler detected, unfortunately. Sad to report. Hey. Bad, bad, bad. Alright, well, we got it in. We got a Dark Seal. If I leave, you know what? I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay because of how bad the Kazakhs has screwed this up. Because Zed is going to continue to make some blunders. Now he's stuck in a sort of checkmate position here. Actually could have gotten on him. Now this is coming back to me. There's nothing he can really do to stop it. Kazakhs is invading this guy. He's a fucking moron. Here we go. I scared him away. Done. Alright, we have enough for one more combo that we'd like to get in, especially right after he uses this spell. I have to let this cannon die. I think he pressured it just enough. I'm gonna get out of this bad situation for free, it seems.
An enemy has been slain.
I don't mind this outcome at all. I was like, get the fuck away from the trundle, man. Not even close. Okay, because we have exactly 1100, I'm gonna go for this. Congrats, you got the you got the dragon. We didn't have Dark Seal, unfortunately, but I'm enormous. Oh, good. We have Maiden online. Yeah. First strike is down. Spells on cooldown. Cast it, cast it, cast it. I did not need to do that.
An ally has been slain. Rampage.
Not good, not good. That's something that you can do with Emax. I tried to do it with Qmax, and it was not very pretty, as you saw. All right, Darkseal is almost certainly online. I'm standing on Vision right now, so he could actually stop my back. That's a little bit of a mistake by me. What kind of item do I want? It looks like a Luden's game. We're going to go like this, and this, and this. Pop, pop. And try to get back in lane as quickly as possible. Should have had that plan again earlier. Largely, I'm only buying these items because of the amount of money that I have is kind of like perfect for them. Could have gone Seeker's Arm Guard, and then I'd be like bullying the crap out of these guys, but Zed is making plenty of mistakes. That's giving me hope that I can,
Has been slain. An ally has been slain.
that was not nearly enough. But I will be in lane for about a minute from now, right? So I'll have this cooldown. It'll be up at about the same time as his. Take a peek. Now Urgot is very, very good against this champion. Tempting to go and like snipe that thing. Was very, very tempting. Zed just miss himself a goes. Alright, how do we punish this? Well, we have a cannon, so we're gonna go and tag mid at least. That's coming. He has Serrated and Tiamat. Really? Did he dodge everything? I'm gonna keep him really low here. Are they actually looking to stay?
Enemy has been slain. An ally
This is not great. I don't have my E. Yeah, it was so bad. I knew that he was baiting. Yeah, it's just a bad assumption to ever assume that that jungler's paying attention. It like wasn't even that great if I pull him into any kind of fight there, because Kha'Zix, having been chunked, having used his ultimate, there's no fight there against Trundle, right? So it's just bad. So it's just a missed opportunity by me, missed window by me. In part because of the Qmax, means I don't have enough points in the E to have the cooldown lower. So that is the other bit. I actually accidentally put a second point in the W here. Should be another one in E. This is a mistake as well.
has been slain.
Don't think Lethal Tempo does what that guy wants it to do, because you have fire at a static speed. That is very, very good for me. Now he has like no pressure. Unless he's trying to just bait out for another Trundle engage.
Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain.
Caitlin's enormous. Love it. Now we're gonna chill here. We can go pick up items. We've got too much items. Also, we're sitting not on the magical footwear, but boots in general. We want to get cooldown boots to go along with this, most likely.
Turret plating.
Kind of putting myself in a weird spot where I may never be able to get this Seeker's Arm Guard online. At least not fast enough. This is exploitable.
An enemy has been slain. Ally has been slain.
Forgot, kind of trolling a little bit. Hey, I just walked right into it. So good at this game.
Double kill.
Alright, bot lane is all set. I'm going to go to bot lane. Urgot is not safe out here. Especially being he's kind of monkeying around. Lucian's the easiest target for me to go kill. Yorick's not impossible either, but he has a little bit more resistances. Lucian just dies to everything. As soon as he casts a single spell here, I can ultimate against him. He may have seen me come over. Probably didn't. Go. And dead. Finishing what you guys started, folks. Good job, down bot. Kate's exceptionally good against Zed in this stage in the game. The extra range, the fact that she's level 10 against only level 11. It's not a big gap that it could be. You, Alistar.
Unstoppable.
You willing to try to skill check me on this Q? I'm willing to take aggro here against this guy.
An ally has been slain.
Well, not enough. Ooh. That's an ultimate? 5 seconds. I did not need to take that full engage the way that I did. Kill the Lush. There we go. Everybody wiped. Alright, it did cost us 2. But we killed 3 for 2. We continue to get pressure in this lane. Urgot needs to really chill right now. This is a squishy dude. He's dead to anything, yep. I don't really ever want to sell Control Ward, but kind of at that moment. Is this game, can I get away with just pure pen? I am the only AP threat, so there's going to be so little threat here. I'm going to do it. Could just ditch this, or we can do that. Do not underestimate the children. Apparently I'm a Yorick sympathizer. That's true. That's actually funny to have its own Yorick graveyard lexicon. My children. Not my ghosts, not my ghoulies, but my children. Alright, Zed is going to step up. I'm going to kill him from right here. No, he actually already stepped back.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Getting some serious work down here. Legendary Kate already done with core items, just absolutely annihilating. I'm going to skip over to her Because there's Yorick is not going to be able to accomplish enough, and I actually just want to make sure that she lives. All that matters this game is Caitlyn. Nothing else matters. So I need to be around wherever she's going to be around. I don't need to take fights against the 4-1 Hullbreaker Yorick, right? Like, at best, I'm just clearing his waves. I just want to make sure that I'm present to keep these waves pushed, to give my team the presence for some amount of action if that's what they want in other lanes. There they go. No, we got the shutdown. Oh no. Exactly what I was trying to avoid. Now they are going to get penalized for this slightly, but alright, we got some work done. Let's get the rest of this wave in. I missed it. Yorick is doing the good work over here, getting all that shutdown gold as well. Or bounty gold, I should call it. Oh no, that's another big there. Because I bought the perfectly timed stopwatch, not the actual one. Normally that would cost $12.50. Instead it costs $17.50. Alright, I go where Caitlyn goes. Now I should be using... making sure that he's not flashing over this. Check out the rest of the action. Lucian looks like he already evac'd. My team gets that kill easily. Can I secure this for myself is the big question. I don't think so. Yorick, I cannot answer. Yorick, what I can do is clear his waves, clear some of his potential for doing something like this. I'm also going to put this right here. We can answer Yorick by pushing harder in 2 lanes than he pushes in 1. Right? We have enough of a lead and a gold lead against the rest of the champions that we can just kind of press it everywhere. That's going over to bot. Urgot, you're fucking trolling us right now. Should just take this, frankly. Urgot. On ultimate. Hey, no, I'm not gonna get free. Yeah. Oh, good teleport, actually. This is really good teleport. How big is she? She's on, oh my god, 3.5 items. She's massive. I don't have my 1750, though, so I kind of really want to get just a little bit more push here. I just want to tag this for him. See, like, hey, I got this. They have a teleport coming as well? Alright, we absolutely just break this, then. Oh, I need it. Alright, the turret's enough. We keep going. We have 2 waves. This is actually enough. Yeah, we're going. That guy not dead. He killed Alistar on a trap. I think we just have to recall. We're missing too many people. Too many people are missing is what I should say. Now they may not be, but I've lost track of them.
destroyed a turret.
Alright. Permanent damage to base, always worth. And in this case, we've got the longest lane carrying supers, pushing up. That means that we can go and push through the Yorick in the opposite lane. Now, Yorick can do the same thing. He can even send the Maiden off into those lanes to go take care of it. Now, she hasn't shopped for her Lord Doms, even though she has it. Could just go for this red buff. It's definitely up. Lucian's going to come for his red buff, and we're going to kill him. Trundle is squished, so they're going to go and look for it. Oh, Lucian has a little bit more gumption. Enough. Oh, these are on the wrong items too. Okay, that could have been bad. Kha'Zix is looking. We'd definitely want to be pushing bot and mid. Dark, big pop. Kate, look, they're so low. She's sticking to the main objective. I don't mind it. It's not the end of the world. Especially with two supers cracking in here. Like, there's nothing they can really do. If they come to answer her, then this dies. Zed can't even stop this. We're going to be in a totally fine space here. Kate versus Zed in this situation is completely fine too. Yorick has a 5-second window. He's coming in, and we have all the inhibitors done, which means that we go to this, and game's over.
Your turret has been destroyed.
What? No. No. Dragon is demonstrably weaker here. We're going to hedge our bets. We're going to go here. We're also going to make sure that Yorick's not teleporting to just solo this thing, which he absolutely can do. Lucky for us, he's going the worst armor item. There's not that much healing cut to be cut. Unfortunately, the game keeps on recommending it to people inappropriately. Lucian knows we're coming through. We've got two supers in all lanes. I think this might be the last one for top lane, though. Lucian is actually showing some amount of restraint. Alright, it's my job to harass them off of this. Yorick is not even trying to help. I can also just usher this wave in all the way. Kill the Lucian en route. There we go. There's the teleport. This guy's dead, which means that we go push for the win. They're going to survive this fight. Even they either win it or they don't. It's no big deal. Because this is definitely an ending play. Easy. 2 and 35, yeah. I mean, something's happening. There's probably a huge discrepancy in level here somewhere, because Lethal Tempo Urgot's never going to cut it. Urgot should just absolutely annihilate Yorick too. Could be that he's playing Urgot because he thinks it counters it, and he's just not familiar with the champion, and then you end up with these very polarizing results. I am unduly excited about understanding one whole kit out of 165. I'm basically an expert. It's true. It's true. I mean, you got the children, you got everything. Yeah, he could have pushed all the lanes. I don't know. It didn't look like he ever let go of the maiden. If he did, I never saw it. Well, if maiden is wife, then it's true. Then ghoulies must be kids. yeah, it looked like there's some amount of smurfing going on. Although, like, I don't know. If they smurf, anyone in my book, if you're willing to spend the money to buy yourself a new account, then like F that. But if you're spending the money to change the name of the account, it is that permanent to you. Even though it's only $5, it's like I feel like that's the difference, right? You've gone past the I'm just buying the account to I'm buying the account, I'm naming the account, I care about the account enough to name it, and I have a purpose for it. Like even if they're smurfing in that situation, it's okay, okay, I buy it. Anyways, that was a crushing victory. Zed made a lot of mistakes in lane, especially with positioning. We could have done a lot better with it. There are many more windows to go after, but here we go. If this is no season silver, I think they just I don't know. Maybe they're getting boosted. There's a chance. It's kind of awkward that you're like randomly 50% on Kate, but 62, 64, 71%. Like, I don't know. Show more. There's just not that much more to do. I don't know. Could be, it could be an extra account. Who knows? But you'd expect it to be higher than this, especially in this one because it wasn't divided by splits, right? You have entire seasons. But that being said, OG Tarzan was similar. I think it had silver, gold. We just didn't care enough to play it those games. But yeah, they played well. They I didn't see them do anything extravagant. That's the weird thing, right? There's none of the like yeah, it just like the traps were misplaced under the thresh. The E's weren't like necessarily dodging anything that I saw, but I wasn't watching the Kate spot on, so who knows. That's gonna be it for me today. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate all the follows today. The YouTube community was doing great. Thanks. We got I think that's the most likes that we get on a video, so we're making progress. Thanks to you guys. I appreciate everybody. Tomorrow we're going to be doing Meta Wednesday, full patch preparation for the world. We already know what we think the meta is. So we're just going to be playing meta champions, trying to give people some insights, what's going to be happening at Worlds, try to learn some of the champions that are going to be super prominent and see if we can find some tech to go over if people aren't familiar with certain lane combinations like Senna, Tom Kench, Sona, Seraphine, interactions like Poppy plus Azir. We'll try to get some of those into the game to see if we can do it. Maybe just counter picks too. All right, I appreciate all the follows, the likes. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Hi to Facebook. What's up, LinkedIn, everybody? If you want more content like this, make sure to slide over to gigagamingacademy.com. You can go to the coaching section. Anyone who popped in today can sign up for a free evaluation, and we're giving away a free lesson to anyone from our game. So excited to catch you guys next time. It's real. Peace.